Good day, everyone, and welcome to Social Selling Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, and however that translates to wherever you are at across the world, around the world, to talk about LinkedIn, social selling, Twitter, and all of the fun, exciting things that go in with the field. My name is Bob Woods. I am a social business strategist at PeopleLinks, as well as Executive Vice President of Coaching and Training at Social Sales Link. Michael?
And something else too.
Yes. Oh, and I am a trainer and coach at Social Sales GPS, a service that's going to be fully launching here in a couple of months. We encourage you to stick around and watch us grow. And if you want to be a part of our testing, just go ahead and let us know. You just go to socialsalesgps.com, socialsalesgps.com. Thanks for catching that, Michael. I am still definitely in vacation mode a little bit here.
Well, Bryn was on last week and she mentioned it, and I thought, that's a good reminder for us to mention that as well. And
yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Michael de Groot, and I am a chief storyteller at stayingaliveuk.com, as well as a coach and co-founder at socialsalesgps.com. And yeah, come and check me out. Connect with me on LinkedIn and share your story.
Yep, absolutely. Michael and I and any of the coaches who are on this show and at Social Sales GPS at WOW would love to connect with you on LinkedIn and help everyone helps everyone expand their business. That's what social selling is all about. That's especially what LinkedIn is all about. And that's one of the many things that we talk about here at Social Selling Wednesday, rather. So normally, it looks like Ted is trying to dial in again. Ted's having connection problems this morning. Hopefully he got rid of all of the gremlins and he can join us. So if you're joining us via audio only via one of the podcasts that we're on, we're watching Ted's head bubble in and out on the blab interface here. So I guess in the meantime, the show is normally, it hurts. Ted just said it hurts, all the bubbling. Normally we split this into two segments. The first is any changes that we've noticed on LinkedIn, and then each one of us has a just one thing segment where we bring up something that from our coaching and training that we want to kind of spotlight in terms of social selling, LinkedIn, and potentially Twitter as well. Of course, if you are on the line, quote unquote, in other words, if you're watching us via Blab and you have access to the chat room, we would love to hear from you. You could type a message into the chat and we'll see it and we'll answer it as soon as we see it or as soon as it makes sense to bring it up. We also have one seat open that you can join us via video and audio, or if you don't want to show yourself or you don't have a camera, if you're in pajamas or whatever, which happens. You can join us just via audio only. Just click on the open seat and Blab's interface will walk you through how to do all of that. So Ted says he's going to go to plan B with his laptop, so he'll be back here in just a couple minutes. So in terms of changes, as I think I said before, I've been on vacation, so I obviously haven't noticed anything because I haven't really been on LinkedIn except to just read the any messages that come across and connect with people who want to connect with me. Michael, have you noticed anything, or did I take a great time, or did I pick a great time to go on vacation?
Yeah, you did pick a great time to go on vacation. It's been all quiet. I haven't seen any major changes pop up. And in fairness, the main things that are now changing are on the LinkedIn app. There doesn't seem to be anything really going on the desktop. Okay. And so if I notice anything, I usually notice it inside the app.
Okay.
I haven't noticed anything. The tiny thing, the frequency now when I have a new connection, or when anybody has a new connection, I guess, it in the messages section, it now tells you that person is a new connection. and you can then strike up a conversation from within messages straight away.
Okay.
So that's pretty awesome. It works. It's working on the desktop as well as on the application. So,
okay.
But I think that was old news. It just didn't seem to be as regular as it had been previously.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm seeing more instances. Still not every single one, but more instances where that is appearing.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess I actually kind of depend on you for the app types of updates because except for last week when I was out, I actually use LinkedIn more on the desktop than I do via the app. So and there is Mr. Ted. Hey,
well done.
Wow, that was fun.
So how you doing today, sir?
Good.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, and then we're talking about any changes that we've noticed on LinkedIn, which at least for us two hasn't really been a lot. I'm not sure if you have or not.
Yeah. I'm Ted Prodromou, author of Ultimate Guide to LinkedIn for Business, Ultimate Guide for Twitter for Business, and I help people with their online marketing.
Excelente. So changes wise, Michael just brought up something really minor, but as I had remarked to him, it seemed like a pretty good time for me to go on vacation because there wasn't really any noticeable changes in the past couple of weeks. I'm not sure if you've noticed any recently.
No, I haven't. I think they've kind of gone into holding pattern till the upgrade.
Either that or they were on vacation too for the July 4th holiday here in the U.S. That's always possible too. That is a big cut, Michael.
It just looks big because it's reasonably big, but yeah, there's just like this.
Okay, so we're all taking refreshment breaks here. Stand by. Okay, very good. So we do have several people on in chat. Just want to remind you, if you have any questions, you can pop them in via chat. We are always monitoring, and we'll get to you as as soon as we can, or as soon as we're able to, if we're deep in a conversation here. You can also join us via the one seat that is open right now. You can do that with video or video and audio, or with audio only if you don't want to show yourself. We definitely understand that. So with that in mind, because there haven't been a lot of changes in or anything that we've noticed on any of the LinkedIn platforms, let's go to our Just One Thing segment, which as I said before, is something that we've noticed in coaching, or something we just want to talk about in terms of LinkedIn, Twitter, and social selling. So Michael, do you want to go ahead and go first with that?
Sure. Yeah, I put a few questions in. I'd like to have a chat about LinkedIn groups. We haven't talked about this for seems ages since they made all the changes. And I joined a group here in the UK called Small Business UK Network. And when I looked at this group, it's got about 3,500 members, so it's not insignificant a group. And it has a lot of people in there that I'm connected to. So I thought, let me test this out and see if I can post a question, like a proper conversation, no link, just bare bones, a real conversation topic, and see if anybody responds. Because when I looked in the group, the only thing that was there for page after page after page where people were posting links to articles. No comments, no likes on anything, just link after link after link after link, not even an introduction to the article, not even, hey guys, I want your opinion on this, what do you think, I don't agree with this, give me some, nothing, zero. Ted's gone. And so I did so I put that on, and surprise, surprise, nobody has responded to my question, which was about why are you guys just posting links? Are there no real conversations? Something I can't remember the exact words.
Right.
So a few days after, I had another look, and discovered that no one had commented. So I thought, right, I'll add another comment, right, to my comment.
Right.
And see if that gets any response.
Yep.
Again, 0, nothing happened. And so anyway, then I found an example of a guy. I won't mention his name, but he's based in New York, and he's a sales and marketing coordinator. Because I noticed in my other groups that I belong to that when you look at the homepage for groups, it tells you the highlights for the day or something. And I saw this person's article appearing in 5 different groups that I belong to.
Yep.
So tracked him down, and every day he posts one article that's in 5 groups. So the same article is posted in 5 groups, and he's doing this for like days and days and days. He hasn't got many connections, very insignificant profile. But then I started noticing that a person, I won't mention the first name, last name, Mr. Green, and let's say Ms. Howard, and yeah, these 2 people writing a comment saying, great post and well worth embracing. Nice article. Glad to have come across this one. Great info. Oh, a lot to think through here. Interesting points. Very good insight. Thanks for sharing. Found this really useful. Then I went, wow, these people are really engaged. They're commenting on every single article he's posted.
Right.
Then when I go and look at those people, they are like sales manager, United States retail, just only about like 20 connections. Their profile is hardly filled out. There's hardly anything there. It's a fake profile.
Yeah.
It's a fake profile, and they're fake commenting. So they got somebody set themselves up so they publish all this content to other groups and then go in as somebody else and comments on it as well.
Wow.
How much work does that take to go and do all that fake stuff?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you would need to have separate email addresses for all these accounts.
Yeah.
And then you would need to go, I mean, even though you went through and basically set up those accounts, you would still need to do that. And, but not having a lot of information, in those accounts. And then you would need to log in and in and out of each account to even make these types of posts in general. I mean, it seems, I agree with you. These are obviously fake. These are obviously fake accounts. I guess the question I would have is this something that someone at Fiverr is doing and, trying to boost someone's online presence through that, or is this a social media marketing agency type of deal doing that, or those are the types of questions that go through my mind at that point. But no matter what, it's obviously pretty skeevy behavior, I think.
Really, really bizarre, and it's I'm kind of going, what? Because I haven't been active in groups for months.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And you kind of go, really? What is the point of groups nowadays on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. I mean, there are some good groups out there still, but there's a lot that are just link posting farms, or that have devolved into link posting farms. I guess you should say, because I think all of these groups at one point started out with good intentions, but
I've seen some quote unquote LinkedIn experts they have teams of people in India and the Philippines that do that kind of work.
Really?
They'll say they'll fill a webinar for you. And one guy posted he had 698 people registered for a webinar in a week just by posting to groups, he said. So obviously he's hiring teams of people over there to just do this kind of stuff. I've actually seen that there's some people, they go to the group moderator and they say, can you promote my LinkedIn class? I'll give you affiliate commissions. And then they have people that comment with those kind of fake comments. Oh, the best LinkedIn course is so-and-so.
Yeah, jeez.
And they're promoting it with their affiliate links. And they have every post they do in every forum, at the end of it, they put a little disclaimer. Oh, the best LinkedIn course ever is blah, blah, blah.
Bamboo by Sprout has a great comment. It's the antithesis. God, I can't talk today. It's the antithesis of what social should be, rather than building genuine engagement from actual advocates, which obviously is something that we all strongly encourage in our coaching and training, and we would agree with that statement. But for every one of us, there are 5 people out there who don't subscribe to what we teach and how we like to do things. And I think it shows, because we are all dealing with people who are obviously B2B and who really want to grow business. And that's how you do it, by building genuine engagement. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys have seen this more than I have, but it seems like all these affiliate links that are being posted by these people are like one-time only types of things more than anything else, and there's no real effort to even build engagement, because once these people sign up, whether or not they show up, that's fine, and it's just a turn and burn type of thing more than anything else.
Yeah, we'll be in business a year from now, and our clients will be in business, but they'll be off on some other venture. These
exactly.
spammers.
Exactly. That's the best way to look at it. That's the best way to look at it. Bamboo by Sprout says, sad but true. Luckily, it's what makes those who appreciate the authentic stand out, and that's a sentiment that I think all of us agree with as well here. So I'm going to start that. So very good. So Ted, what's your one thing for today's session?
It's interesting. I started exploring groups again too
this week. No way!
You can tell we do not discuss this stuff before we come online. So that's funny, and that's actually not the first time this has happened where 2 of us or all 3 of us, or if there's a 4th coach, all 4 of us are pretty much in simpatico before we even log on and get on the call. So Ted, what have your experiences been?
Well, it came up in my coaching call last week for Social Sales GPS. And somebody's asking me, were groups worth it anymore? And I said, I haven't really logged into a group in months either. So I started going into some of the groups, and some of them had like 300 new conversations today. And all day was people blasting content there. There was no comments, no likes, no shares, no conversations.
Wow.
It was really sad. And I went to like 20 groups, and they all were just blasting content.
Wow.
And people are teaching that. That's what a lot of these quote unquote experts are teaching. Just blast your content everywhere and someone may respond.
Yeah, that's something.
It's too bad.
That is definitely too bad. LinkedIn obviously had the best of intentions when they started it, and then it got abused, and that's why they implemented the changes that they did late last year, I think it was, and then and now, even though there are tighter controls, there's still a lot of out of control stuff going on, and that's obviously mostly the fault of the people who are posting, obviously. But I do think that that group moderators might take some of the blame here, just because they're not really clamping down on these people, and it's, being a group moderator is obviously, it's an unpaid position. It's a thankless job and everything else. I've done group moderating before, and I know all these things, but there is some responsibility there. And if it comes down to, deleting these people and kicking them out of groups and things like that, that's the way it should be. And that's what these moderators should be doing.
Well, I think there's a great opportunity here as well. For us to start a group that is, there are no links allowed in this group. That's the
conversations only
conversations. The trouble is, will people honor it, or will they still share links? If if there was just one rule, because often people go, yeah, here are the rules. Don't do this, don't do that, do the other. But we just have one rule: no links.
No links.
And no swearing, or maybe no swearing as well. But essentially, no links at all. If you post a link, you're out.
Yeah.
So
one strike, you're out.
One strike rule.
You're not even getting the opportunity. I mean, I'm a couple of years ago, I moderated a group here in the UK that was really good, really big in the West Midlands area, and it literally had tens of thousands of people in it. And I volunteered to do it. Somebody asked, would you mind, joining in and volunteering? Because I was quite active in the group. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll have a go just to experience what it's like. And when I sent some interesting emails then to people who were abusing, the stuff that they shouldn't be doing as per the rules.
Right.
Well, the abuse I got back was really violent. It was not nice. I stuck it out for a year, and then I went, that's it. I've had enough of moderating groups. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. But some people are very, very nasty when you comment on the fact that they are not adhering to the rules.
Right. Yeah. And that actually,
I have a question.
Sure.
For you guys. I am in, I don't even know how many Facebook groups, but Facebook groups, there's real conversations. People ask for help. People give them help. There's no blasting of content. There's no spamming. If you're spammed, you're kicked right out. But LinkedIn, it's like the moderators don't do their jobs, but Facebook, they do. Why is that?
Yeah, it's
dead air. That's a good question.
I think it's a natural, because it's more personal, there's a natural tendency to have a personal conversation with somebody and to genuinely answer any questions without posting links. Yeah, and in LinkedIn, I guess people are thinking business. I must promote what I'm doing. I must share my blog post, or get people. I need to get traffic to my site, and I need to prove this, and So there seems to be that pressure of it's business, and you've got to get business, and therefore this is what you've got to do.
Yeah, so maybe on the part of group moderators for LinkedIn versus group moderators for Facebook, maybe Facebook group moderators take it more personally because it is personal, and there's more feelings with personal types of things as opposed to LinkedIn, which is business, and people kind of go, it's just business, who cares. I mean, maybe there's a slightly different type of attitude among those two groups of group moderators, basically.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's just a theory.
Yeah,
I
have my LinkedIn class. I have a Facebook group for it because nobody would talk on the LinkedIn group. It's really weird.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame. And I guess, because again, apart from the fact that we've got the group, the LinkedIn group app, right, which isn't really that great, and they haven't really continued to develop it. So it's not something that's natural that you would go to in the evening, let's say. But on Facebook, the likelihood is people are on Facebook in the evening, and if they see comments coming through from a group they belong to, they may pitch in and have a conversation there, because you're in the same real estate at the same time. You're already in the environment, so you might as well, stay there. Whereas with LinkedIn, you've got to jump to another app to get into a group conversation, and it's not that customer friendly, to be honest. And inside the flagship app, there is no facility to find. You can find them, but you can't engage in the conversations. You might be able to add one, but there's not a lot you can do there.
Okay. That's interesting.
I wanted to answer, try and debate a little bit the point that Bamboo by Sprout made earlier on, which said links are often still pretty valuable, though. It's hard to reference sometime without using links, which is a good point. If you have some content that you want to context and get a conversation going, then sometimes doing that adds value to the conversation. However, nobody's doing that.
Right.
Everybody's just putting because they are sharing it somewhere else. They're not doing it inside LinkedIn. They're sharing it from somewhere else.
Yep.
And then, through the LinkedIn sharing button or whatever, and then just sharing it to the groups and typing in the group names and then blasting it out, because it's a process. Okay, I've got to blast this content to 5 groups today. Mm-hmm. Because actually they know they're not going to get a conversation going on it. So because this is happening and it's been abused, I would go the other way and not use a link at all. If people are then asking for some evidence or the conversation goes in a certain direction, then you may go, actually, here's a good article you might want to have a read.
Then put it a link,
Yeah, but first start with the conversation.
It would definitely be an interesting experiment to see, to see how that would work. I mean, maybe eventually, if people just don't take off, don't take off with that, maybe you stipulate, and this would be a nightmare for our group admins, but maybe you stipulate if you're going to put in a link, add to the content. Don't just put a link, state why you think it's important, blah, 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 that type of thing. Any conversation starters that don't have this additional information will be deleted. Maybe, I don't know. Just I'm just spitballing here at this point, but I mean, but maybe you start off with the no link no link for the conversation starting thread at least, and then if that doesn't work, then maybe fall back to that or something. I don't know.
If all fails, go to Facebook.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's crazy.
I like that.
Well, Alex Mondosian said it once. We were talking about this, and he said LinkedIn is like a library. People are very polite and professional, and then the same person goes to Facebook, and it's like a playground where they let their hair go and they just have fun.
Yeah. I mean,
and you can be in the same couple of minutes. You can go from one screen to the next and literally change your personality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. LinkedIn is definitely more of a button-down business networking event, whereas Facebook is the local neighborhood watering hole or something like that. You could say,
right?
Which actually, I've gone from business events to watering holes, and I mean, you could definitely feel the difference between those two.
So because you guys call it, if you're in a working in an organization in an office environment, then you go and have a chat around the water cooler, don't you?
Yep.
And that's probably what Facebook's about, rather than having a conversation in the marketing department, which is where they are, just posting content in the marketing department.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we're too busy here and we're marketing, so we can't talk. We're posting content. Yeah. If you want to have a conversation, go over to the water cooler over there where these guys are.
LinkedIn is a monologue.
Yeah,
there's just no conversation.
No matter how many of us try to make it a dialogue, which I mean, we all know how to do update posting where we try to get conversation started. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You wish it would work more, but when it does work, it works really well. I mean, I know that all three of us have had posts where there have been some incredible conversations that have started just from linking to an article, but we always provide extra context, whether it's asking a question or bringing up a point. I mean, all of the types of things that we know how to do that get those conversations started. So I guess it's just up to us to train more people how to do it properly.
That's it.
Well, people do respond to messages when you send them messages.
Yeah, they do. Questions. That's a good point.
Especially like the birthday. It's like, did you do anything fun? And people tell me, oh, yeah, I went to dinner with my wife. I went to a play. We went on vacation.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But they won't post it publicly.
Especially on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Facebook, they post too much sometimes.
Too much information.
Yeah, exactly. They should have a TMI feature.
Did you really have to take that picture?
Right. Right.
And post it.
Or actually, now that Facebook has those additional, like wow, sad or whatever, they should add one that has like TMI and maybe like a big X through it or something like that, so you can just indicate directly that you think it's too much information, or maybe an icon that's like this or something like that.
That's it. Right. Love it.
So I think it's up to my just one thing, and it's slightly different from you two, but it does go in with messaging and LinkedIn and Facebook. So I get and this happened literally 10 minutes before I signed on. I was going to talk about something else, but this really kind of ground my gears, basically. So I get a message that's part of a group message with 47 other people who I have no idea who these people are.
Yay!
And I'm guessing that 50 is probably the maximum amount of people you can send one message to. So this guy is probably sending 50. In other words, he's spamming. But and I won't mention the name, but the message says, "Colleagues, we are thrilled to share with you our latest single, Mi Canción Favorita, a super fun bilingual cumbia written blah 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 blah." Obviously, it's spam, and obviously, there are some places that are appropriate for this kind of thing, and there are others that aren't so much. And I know that sometimes I get criticized about, loosen up, LinkedIn.
Yeah, Bob, loosen up.
Personal. Yeah, but then you get stuff like this, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, this is just going too far. I mean, obviously, this is a blast. Obviously, this guy is trying to get sales for this single because it links to iTunes, and it's just,
wow, that's a new one.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the 3 links, and I am leaving this conversation. I have left the conversation. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that other people haven't done that yet. I mean, do you think a lot of people don't know that they can actually leave conversations that are...
I tell you, when you leave that conversation, everybody's going to get a notification
that I left.
That you left.
And I don't care about this one. Trust me.
So what will happen? I'll tell you a story about something that happened the other week.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting notifications of a conversation that a connection of mine had started, where he invited people to come to some sort of networking event. Mm-hmm. I hadn't left that conversation, but nothing had happened. So someone left this conversation. So I got a message to say such and such has left this conversation. I went.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember getting this one recently. So there was a link in there, and I clicked through to the link, and I went, oh, my God, this networking event was last February, a year ago, right? Now, as soon as this one person left the conversation, a waterfall started.
Yeah.
Everybody started leaving the conversation.
That's funny.
and because they all went, oh my God, I've just had this message. I'm going to leave this,
Yeah.
But they hacked the message a year ago and didn't do anything about it. But because this one person left the conversation, everybody did.
Some of those more skeevy people would go. There's a strategy in here somehow. Maybe I should send a message to 50 people, wait a week, and then unsubscribe, and then it will become new again. Anyhow, I don't want to give people any ideas.
Let me just make a note of that idea.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God, that's great.
Yeah,
you're a genius, Bob.
Yeah, sometimes my evil mind takes over and it creates stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, obviously that is getting back to the original message. That's a message more for Facebook, maybe. I mean, I could see somebody sending friends that type of thing, but I don't know this guy from Adam. I should see when one of the problems is, there it is. I can't get to his profile from from the message because it's a group message. I guess I got to look him up. But I would be strongly tempted to drop this guy. I mean, especially because this guy hasn't reached out at all. Hasn't tried to, establish any type of communication with me or whatever. And
so what's the key message from this experience that we want to leave our viewers and listeners with, Bob?
Don't spam. Don't spam to multiple people. Don't max out 50. If you truly need to have a conversation with a big number of people, you're obviously not targeting your conversation well enough, basically. I mean, because unless it's, I would say that if you have like a product announcement or something like that, don't use messaging. Just put it on your LinkedIn feed. I mean, the type of message that this guy sent should have been on his on a LinkedIn update and not directly in a messaging in a message conversation with 49 other people who have no idea who these people are.
So how could we use messages where we include, say, a couple of people or maybe one person?
That's fine.
Intelligently. So what purpose could we use it for? It's kind of a leading question.
Yeah.
I'll share with you what's going through my mind.
Yeah, please do.
And that is, if I want to introduce somebody to you, Bob, and go connect with Bob, I will go to your profile and I will share your profile, and that will go to the messages feed. My messages feed, and I just put that person's name in, and it will share your profile link in the message, and I can add you on copy as well to the conversation and say, hi, Jim, go and check Bob is the best person to speak about this. He knows everything there is to know about group messaging. So go and talk to him. And then we've got a conversation with just 3 folks, but it kind of contexts it. It works really elegantly. And what I found is that there's a conversation that then starts going on, and the 3 of us are involved in that conversation. And it doesn't have to go on forever, but it's a meaningful conversation.
Right.
Because you're introducing somebody, you're giving some context behind it, and then you can continue discussing whatever subject matter you wish.
That's very different than sending a message to 50 people saying, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. Will you join me? Or you want to invest in my new fund.
Yeah, exactly. Use this code to get 20% off. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
So it's all about conversations. It's not about blasting people with spam. I mean, that's probably the biggest takeaway there.
Yeah. And there was one thing that came up that the group were chatting in Slack about, and this is this topics thing on LinkedIn. Let me just share a link. See if I can share a link if that works or not. Hold on a second.
Another LinkedIn mystery.
Well, okay, it doesn't give a preview on the. There's no photograph preview, or anything like that. But was it?
If you click on it, it opens up, and it'll open up a new window, and you can view it.
And Beth, I think, brought this up, or Colleen, one of the two, and it has been around for a while, but it's not as elegantly presented. So essentially, it takes a skill from your profile, anybody's profile, and expands it, right? It shows you the members who've got that skill. It shows you some courses on lynda.com.
Yep.
It shares some posts in Pulse. There might be some slide shares with the subject. And then there is some other context. I mean, the one I shared is social selling, but it could be any skill at all. So it's quite an interesting little database. Some years ago, there was a similar thing that existed. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a similar thing that existed. And if you had a skill on your profile, or as it was called, I think, speciality.
Yep.
And it was like it was hyperlinked to a page where it showed you how many people in the world had that skill. And it gave you a lot of in-depth statistics about this skill. It was really, really amazing. Talk about big data. It was awesome data. And it just stopped. When they updated the skills, they just removed it. But I guess this is the new version of what they had all those years ago. I never kept a screenshot of it, so I can't describe all the things that were on that page, but it's cool.
But you can't find this unless you know how to type it in, right? It's not on the menus. It's not in the footer.
No, that's right. But there is a menu.
How do you get to it? Oh, so when you try to go to linkedin.com/topic, I mean, just at, like the top of the directory, if you remember, DOS and stuff like that, it gives you page not found.
Yeah, so you have to put a skill in there, and then you can put another skill.
But there's no homepage, homepage, quote unquote, for this. Yeah,
exactly.
That's just bizarre.
There is a homepage. Let me find it.
Oh, there is? Okay,
yeah,
but it's not.
There is.
Because sometimes you can log out of LinkedIn and go down to the footer, and you can see a bunch of links that take you to great stuff. But you can't ever scroll down to get to that footer unless you log out of LinkedIn.
Because they had the infinite scroll for some stuff. Yeah.
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 They have some great stuff on their site that you just can't get to unless you know where to go. It's unfortunate.
Let's see.
It's a pity, that's for sure. Give me a minute, and I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's definitely not available from the from the top nav. Yeah, okay. It's not available from like anywhere, and of course you can't get to the bottom of the page because they have infinite scroll.
Right.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me put it in the chat. 1 moment.
Okay.
So, do you think this adds any value? This little feature?
Directory top. Oops. Open. Okay, so that's just okay. That's better than nothing. Although, man, there are a ton of topics there. I mean,
that's just A. So you just need to click on the letters and.
Yeah. So for S, social media. So social selling. Let's see, social selling.
Difficult to find, right?
How does anyone?
Social selling isn't even listed here.
No, although it does exist.
Oh, LinkedIn, how we love you.
There is another directory somewhere else.
Topics directory, S corporations through speakers of Mandarin. That's what this topic page is.
There's something similar to this too. If you log out of LinkedIn and look in the footer, you can see every job title that's listed on LinkedIn.
Wow.
So everything. So if you're looking for a specific company, you can go to like HP and find out all the job titles that are listed in all the HP employees.
Oh, jeez.
It's great if you're trying to get into a company like that and you're trying to search for specific job titles.
Definitely. Wow. The wonders of LinkedIn. So
with all that data, Microsoft's gonna have a field day if they use this data.
Yeah,
correctly.
I mean, LinkedIn's not using it correctly. Hopefully, hopefully Microsoft can do a better job with it than LinkedIn itself does.
Did you see that interview with Reid Hoffman last week? He had an interview about him about the
No,
Microsoft.
I didn't.
Oh, what did he have to say?
He was basically saying it's a good move because they kind of reached the point they didn't know what to do, essentially.
We have reached the end of our
It's like we
business
got this
plan. What do we do
incredible.
The end of our business.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Now they clearly needed more funding to take going the next level, but they didn't know which level to pick because most of their money comes from recruiting, but they have so many other opportunities.
Oh God, that's funny. So there's the main directory right there. Browse
That's right.
Browse companies, browse education topics, browse industry topics.
So does anyone on the call see this?
Yeah,
as valuable,
that's actually a really good question. And I'm going to get rid of this here just so people can pop in that fourth window if they want to. Do you see any value to this? Because I think we're all kind of scratching our heads right now, and we definitely want to hear from you. So the link to the main one is the last one that Michael posted there, that linkedin.com/directory/topics. If you have something there, if you have any thoughts, let us know, because because the way that one page was structured was interesting. I'm just not sure, what value it really brings besides trying to sell a Lynda course. Which actually, what's funny is I did click on LinkedIn training, because at the bottom it says words to the effect of, people interested in this topic are also interested in blah blah blah. One of those was LinkedIn training. I clicked on LinkedIn training, no Lynda link there.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
So I don't know if that means Lynda doesn't have LinkedIn training, or if nobody made the link or whatever, but I thought that in itself was just kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's some things that are not 100%, because if you click on some of the letters, they don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've just clicked on one of the things, which is the Internet of Things as a skill.
Okay.
And it's telling me there are 91,500 LinkedIn members who have this skill. Right? It's not that many in the world. What's really interesting, it tells me where they work. Right. So it's giving me the companies where those people are. The big numbers, not every single number.
Uh-huh.
It also tells me what else are they skilled at. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and what they are skilled at. So it's telling me. So people who've got the Internet of Things on their profile. The top one is project management, which you would expect. I would expect that. Management, software development, cloud computing, Java, business development, strategy, and then C++, C, Linux. So if I click now, and these buttons are, you can click on them. So the next thing I get then is, so I click on business development, but it just takes me to another skills page with the same kind of data. But then I am able to go and click through on Pulse articles and look at those. So it's perhaps another way to drill down and find folks that you can strike up a conversation with. Because
I can see that.
Yeah.
If you were looking for people in a who are skilled at certain things that you want to get in front of, so let's say we want to get in front of people that do business development, we could find a Pulse article by somebody, and I could click through on it. And I'm just doing that now live. So I've got somebody who says, as business developer, must I wear this hat? Okay, there's an article there, and I can now find this person and start a conversation inside his Pulse post. Because so often, I think the trouble is that you cannot find the right person to strike up a conversation with without a connection request.
Right.
Because groups is dead. Yeah. We know that. So there's no point going there. So this could be an alternative. And we know that you need Sales Navigator if you want to do deep search.
Right.
But if you have this available as free, then you could do some deep search on that and get to somebody who's writing about the subject matter that you're interested in getting in front of those people.
Right.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. And Bamboo by Sprout says it can help you understand your community personas better, and it'd be good for HR departments. I could see it for running ads too, because sometimes I run LinkedIn ads and target certain skills. And this will tell me additional skills that target audience has.
Yeah.
So it's like keyword search almost, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it's giving me the persona of all the C++ programmers, all the other skills. That
so then you can target your ad based on all of those skills. Yeah. So more of them will get to see those ads.
Yep, the right people will see those ads because they may have 4 or 5 skills that I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's great. So we have...
There's definitely a rabbit hole aspect of this.
Yeah,
similar
totally
interest skills.
Yeah, so everyone on this call has just experienced how we create strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
It's true. Well, it's great to brainstorm with people because you sit there thinking, at first I thought this is totally useless, but now I see a lot of value in it.
You went a bit garbled there, Ted.
Nope, I see it's very useful now. You changed me. You converted me from a naysayer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I see it
as
valuable now.
Teamworks make the dream work. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
Love that.
So I think on that positive note, let's wrap up the session, especially because we're bumping up against the top of the hour here. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you very much for the comments. We always appreciate it. We are here every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, and however that translates to your corner of the world. For Ted and Michael, I'm Bob Woods. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back here next week. Bye.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks. Thank you, Bamboo by Sprout.
Thanks, everybody.
We appreciate all the comments today very much.
Come
Consider
back
joining us next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.